Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.
Hi guys, today with us we have Darsh Ketan, who is currently studying his MBA from KJ Somaya. Let's hear from him. Hi Darsh, how are you doing?
Hi Trishna, very well, thank you.
All right, so could you just give our viewers a little bit of brief of your educational background?
Sure. So my early schooling was done in Mumbai itself. I completed my high school from ICSE board. It's a school, NL Dalmia High School. That's where I pursued my early schooling, and from there on, I went to pursue engineering and computer science from Manipal Institute of Technology. Spent my 4 years at the graduation, following which I worked at a private IT company called HOC India Private Limited. I worked there as a software developer for the first year and then as a systems analyst for the second year. So that was my 2 years of work ex, post which I joined KJ Somaya Institute of Management, where currently I'm pursuing MBA in core, which is a concept year, but and in my second year, I'll be choosing the specialization of finance.
That's very interesting. So you've done your engineering and you have 4 years of work experience. That's really interesting. So would you like to tell us a little more about your journey from engineering to MBA in KJ Somaya?
Right. So I pursued engineering in computer science, but I wasn't. So every field comes with a variety of subfields that fall into it. And while I was pursuing engineering and computer science, I did not actually have a clarity as to which exactly the field I would want to work in the field of computer science itself. I had a bit of inclination towards computer networks and towards cybersecurity, but I always kept my options open that anything that comes my way, I'll take that as an opportunity to learn, and I might as well go with it. So I ended up at a place where we used to create web applications for financial reporting. So it was a software development role wherein my job was to develop the web application, but ultimately the clients that we used to serve used to make use of the financial reports that we are providing them with. And the work that I used to do was actively involved in the client front. And over the course of those 2 years, I realized that I was enjoying this line of work. I was keenly interested in those financial reports that we were generating, but so I had decided that I might want to pursue this line of work itself for the rest of my career. But in order, thought that if I want to excel in this line of work, if this is what I want to pursue in the long run as my career, I would want to get a formal knowledge in the field of finance, because that would be essential to understand the requirement and understand their business and understand their point of view. So that's when I decided that I might as well pursue an MBA in finance, which would be an add-on to me to the long run. So that was my decision of going from being an engineer to deciding whether I want to pursue an MBA or not. Once decided whether to pursue an MBA, or not, it's obviously the aspiration of every MBA aspirant that we would want to go to the IIMs or one of the big B schools. So I always set my goals high that yes, I do want to get there, but yeah, there, I mean, everybody has their set of limitations that come in. So I realized that my limitation in this field of selection was that my my undergraduate background, I did not have a really good GPA during my engineering, and that was what was barring me from most of these premium institutes, because I was able to get a good enough score in CAT and all these exams, but it was this profile that was coming my way. I don't take that as a negative in any manner, because ultimately the low GPA, it actually has a reason, because the entire journey of my undergraduation, it consisted of various activities that I did all around in the college, and which overall contributed to my personality development. So I don't regret having that, but yes, that would be a factor that could be counted in. So given the options that I had in hand with my score and my profile, I feel KJ Somaya was the best deal for me, and so I went ahead with it.
That's really great to know. So now that you're in this field, would you like to highlight a little more on the challenges that you have faced? Any additional challenges that you face?
Additional challenges, yes, NBA does come with its own set of challenges because uh, you study with, you work with people from varied backgrounds, okay, and the course itself consists of uh, you know knowledge from various fields. It does not contain knowledge just from you might think it just contains knowledge from the commerce backgrounds, but it's not so. It does contains fields from engineering, it does contains fields from commerce, it does contains fields from arts and all of that sort. And even for an institute like KJ Somaya, they offer a course called healthcare management as well, wherein they've been pulling out information from medical field as well, which is very rare for an MBA degree. So yes, it's a mixture of everything that you find around. And that is where the challenge kicks in, because if you have a set of subjects in a given trimester or in a given semester, there'll be just maybe one or two subjects which belong to your background and which will be your comfort zone. But for the rest of the subjects, you'll find the people for whom those subjects are relevant, they've been excelling in that. So that's where the competition kicks in, that yes, you don't have to excel in not just your own respective subject, but you also have to excel in the subjects that they are already mastered in.
That's very
So
true.
that yeah, that's the biggest challenge I feel that an MBA student has. And it's all healthy because most of the ongoings in the MBA course is done using group activities and group assignments. So you always can collaborate with people who are not from your background, so that you can learn from them, and you yourself can teach them. You can learn from them. It's an exchange of information. So that was one set of challenges that I would say. The other uh, would be that people come from various backgrounds, various cities, various levels of work experience. So everybody has their own mindset. Everybody has their own way of thinking, and to accommodate all of that into a single project, into a single assignment, uh, to be to take the team together in all of these aspects. That also is an everyday challenge that an MBA student comes across.
It's really very interesting. Thank you for that. So would you like to tell us a little more about KJ Somaya?
So KJ Somaya has it's one of the I could say best B schools in Mumbai at least. They're still trying to make a mark on the national level. I would say they are at par with the baby IMs. I would say, because I myself had a few offers from the baby IMs, but and I started to compare the statistics of KJ Somaya as well as those baby IMs. And then I decided I might as well go with this because they seemed at par to me. So yeah, so they have been around for over 40 years now. This year is the 40th anniversary of KJ Somaya. So they've been around for quite a while, and they gained the autonomous status a couple of years back. And so the USP for KJ Somaya, I would say, would be the specialized courses that they offer. So most of the business schools, the way it works is, we know that finance, marketing, operations, HR, these are the four pillars of MBA. You would be choosing one of those specializations, right? So these four contribute to the core of the MBA that KJ Somaya calls. Apart from these four, they are also offering the data analytics. But data analytics these days in MBA has become a little more commonplace. I feel there are other institutes also offering them. So these are the five specializations that form the core. But apart from this core, there are other courses that they are offering which actually specialize in these fields a little more. So what happens in core is, for the first year you are studying all of these four together, and then in the second year you are studying your respective specialization. But for people who opt for, let's say, there is a course called integrated marketing communications, so which we fondly called as IMC. So if you go for IMC, you'll be studying about marketing for the entire 2 years and not just the second year of your specialization. Similarly, there's a course for financial services, there is international business, there's healthcare management, retail management, sports management. So
Wow, those
feels
are
like, yeah, right. So for feels like healthcare management, sports management, these are very rare. These are not commonly found around in the B schools. And for people who have decided their career path to be this, for them, this is a very unique opportunity, I feel. So in that sense, KJ is doing really well.
Good to know. So you got into KJ Samaya through your CAT scores.
Yes, I mean, I had good scores in four of the entrances, which all of them I had submitted to KJ Somaya. The admission process does not reveal which of those scores were used to get you into the
All right.
college,
Okay.
but yes,
So you just put in whatever scores they have asked, whichever entrance exams, and then they choose
yes,
whether to call you or not.
yes.
All right. So
I
can you just
entered scores for CAT, ZAT, CMAT, and NMAT.
all right. Oh, okay. So can you tell us a little more about the whole process? How did it go from you getting a call to the GDPI and a little more on that?
Right. So KJ Somaya has a slightly different way of selection. The process of selection is a little different because they have an additional round called as case analysis. So apart from the VAT and the PI and the GD, all of that, there's something as a case analysis round. So firstly, there's the application thing which would be very similar to the applications in the rest of the B schools. There are a few descriptive questions as well in the applications, which sort of together can be called as the SOP that we provide to the other institutes. And so this was the application process, after which the profiles are shortlisted. So there are these courses, the healthcare management and sports management, they are profile based. So if you're applying for these, they might not look a lot at your score, but they'll mostly look at your profile. But for the rest of the courses, be it core or be it any of the other ones, they will consider your entrance exam scores in that. So in case you meet the criteria for any of the courses that you have applied, you will receive the call, which will be followed by a case analysis round. The case analysis round is pretty simple. They give you a problem statement, and they give you a certain limited amount of time. I think it was somewhere 15 to 30 minutes. That was what was given to us to describe the problem statement and your views on it, and what solutions you can provide. All of that was conducted on an online mode this year, obviously. And so after the case analysis round, there was the PI round. They also conducted the GD before that. So yeah, it is GD and case analysis and PI. That is the procedure that KJ Somaya follows.
Do you remember any of the topics or any of the questions asked in any of these rounds?
Uh, so my interview was rather a simple one, I would say. It wasn't something very tricky. So given my background, I know that there's one question I'll always come across is why the reason for my GPA in undergraduation being less. So that is something that I always have forecasted that this is going to come. But apart from that, it was a rather simple interview wherein most of their focus was on my prior work-ex, what my takeaways from the work-ex have been, what I've learned there, and what made me choose finance as the specialization. So these were the commonplace questions. It wasn't a very stringent interview, I would say, but it was rather a simple one.
All right. And anything from the case analysis? Do you remember any questions asked? Any particular?
Uh, I don't exactly remember the question that was asked in case analysis, but I do remember it had something to do with the area of finance itself, in terms of the economic structure of the country. It was somewhere on those lines. So I don't exactly remember what the question was, but it was on those lines.
All right, no problem. So,
Yeah.
how is your whole work experience helping you in MBA?
So no, I mean, whatever background you come from and whatever kind of work ex you hold, it is somehow or the other going to contribute to this MBA journey that you're getting into. And so for me personally, I knew that since I'm good at IT, being from that background, I took it as an opportunity from, right the day one, that anything related to IT, anything related to softwares or computers is something that I'm going to mark my expertise in. And that does not just include the curriculum. Okay, the curriculum would be, if I speak in terms of IT, I'll just have one subject every trimester that talks about it. But there are things that go on in a B school, like way different from curriculum, and there are a lot many other things that you go around with. And if you have to excel in the college, come out as a personality different from what you entered. There are many other things that you would do. So I always made sure that my work contributes to me, in the sense that I always went out giving the IT solutions to the people, be it as simple as hosting the class materials on the drive, or something as simple as that, or maintaining coming up with systems that would help the class function efficiently. I'm also a member of the placement committee of the college, so I've also taken that up, that developing systems that would help the placement committee function efficiently. So that's how I feel my work has been contributing in my MBA journey.
That's really interesting. Enough about MBA. I guess, can we talk a little more about your CAT? How was your CAT? What was your approach, your strategy,
Right.
or probably the places where you struggled, places where you were good?
Hmm. So for me, CAT was something that did not it did not begin the day I decided that I want to pursue an MBA. CAT, I feel, begins at a very early age.
Mhm.
I have been appearing for a lot of Olympiads back in my school days, and Olympiads, I feel, are somewhat a basic level of something that prepares you for these entrance exams later. So it is one thing to know the syllabus, and it is another thing to understand what the exam is. So for CAT, the IIMs will give you a given set of syllabus, that these are the topics that we'll be asking you and all of that. But you still need to spend some time understanding the nature of the examination, getting the knack as to how much risk I can take in every question. And that is a skill that only comes with giving as many number of tests as possible. Because
True.
being an engineer myself, the one advantage I feel every engineer has is that we've been through this entire process of entrance exams at a very early age, when we were entering our own engineering colleges. So that is where I got the knack of how to approach an entrance exam. Even if I'm not excelling at the syllabus of the exam, I would know, how what ways I can make better scores in it. So I would say that was an advantage for me, that I understood the nature of the examination. But in terms of the syllabus, challenge, I would say, just try to look at things in a more normalized manner, rather than looking at them as something like I am giving an examination, or this is a question that has come to me in a paper. Rather than going with that thought, just think of it as to how would you try to solve that question if it just comes to you on a random day. Because most of it is aptitude, right? And aptitude is something that you do use in your everyday life. So I'm not sure if this will go for people from all the backgrounds, but for me personally, this did play well. Because we have done a lot of math, we have done a lot of logical reasoning as well, back in the school days. So for me, it became an everyday thing for me, that I can talk about these things on any random day. Verbal ability, yes, that was a little bit of a challenge for me, in terms of, I'm good at spoken English, but in terms of understanding those key words and identify, there's this only thing of getting the meaning of those words. That was my only weak point, I feel, uh, in the um, in the entrance exams for cats.
It's quite interesting. So just to wrap it up, would you have any tips or suggestions you would like to give the CAT aspirants?
Well, one is something that I just gave about looking at things from an everyday perspective, from a commonplace things. Don't think of it as something that is coming to you in a paper. Just think of it as maybe there's some friend of yours coming up to you with some doubt maybe. So go with that. A pro tip would be just solve as many papers as possible. Really, you have to spend a lot of time solving papers, and no matter so you might think that okay, I want to go with a test series of certain institute, that okay, I'll go with the test series of CPLC, or I might go with the test series of some other institute or whatever. It's up to you. Go with anything, but just make use of your time. Don't just while away. So I've seen people who uh, have wasted weeks altogether trying to figure out what test series they want to opt for, and that's inefficient, I feel. Start by what you have in hand. Just go by that, and maybe along the way you can figure things out. Another thing is, don't pursue MBA just for the sake of it. That's I feel that somewhere or the other, somewhere down the line, it's going to come back to you. If you're just doing MBA because it is an industry trend. So it's
Mhm.
not that way. Your MBA should have a purpose. It's not something that has to be an answer just because they are going to ask you in the interviews, why do you want to pursue an MBA? No, it is something that should hold meaning, because even if you're able to convince the interview panelist that this is why I want to pursue an MBA, you might not be able to convince yourself during those 2 years of the course. Because MBA at any B school, it's really taxing, because they
Yeah.
test you with your patience, they test you with your stress management abilities, they test you with your time management. All of it gets tested, on an everyday basis. You'll have workloads of maybe 20 or 18 hours a day. That's the amount of work you that's the amount of time you spend every day. So if it doesn't hold any meaning to you, it's you're going to feel lost,
Okay.
because then you might wonder to yourself that if I don't even need this, why the hell am I even doing so much for it? So that's what, don't just do MBA for the sake of it. Have some meaning. If you think it is really the way you want to go about, if you really think this is an add-on to your career in the true sense, then yes, it's a great place to be. Otherwise, there are various career options, I would say.
That's true. And I feel that these whole entrance exams, they kind of test us for what's going to come ahead when we get into a college. So it's just like a
Yes,
base
definitely.
preparing stage. That
Yes.
was really nice and insightful, Darsh. I'm sure our viewers got a lot of clarity. Thank you so much for your time and all the best to you as well for your future.
Thank you so much for organizing this, Trishna. I wish you all the very best for your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Darsh.